Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
It's Tokyo Revengers episode 5. What happened last time?
Last time we had a big fat discussion about time travel, exploring a lot of theories, and we've gotten to see different futures play out based on the past. But now he's back in present time, and we're probably going to find out some more information and then head back on into the past.
Indeed. Leave a like, subscribe, check out Patreon for the uncuts. Hope you enjoy most of all. I'm really liking the show now. That last episode and that last discussion really got me jazzed up for the show. Mm-hmm. Now that we're getting real into the time travel and we can actually make some theories and get involved, I'm really liking the show a lot more, so I'm ready to get right into this. Hope you are too. Let's go. He's at the crash site there. Did you see that?
No.
He was kneeling down, like, feeling like shit as there's fire and burning car behind him. Does Akun stab him at some point? If he has a stab wound in the hand and Akun stabbed that guy, maybe he... Alright. Fuck you, Hasagawa. Bitch. She's the most bitchy manager of all time. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Either way. Okay.
Well, I
Fuck
mean,
you.
his job is going into the past, so now.
Why? Why don't you want him to say that?
What do you mean, the easy way out?
See? That confirms it for me. That's stupid logic. That's stupid logic. You believed it under ordinary circumstances, or did you, you fucking liar? I bet you knew already. Into occult stuff? You were pretty sharp. Just changes the subject.
Well, let's see how and when he died, because that might be the next thing.
Wait. We need to. I'm sorry.
Right, we need to go back.
We need to go back. There's a lot of text on the screen. We need to take this slow. Sorry, uncut people. I'm gonna read what he says. Okay. Man arrested for dine and dash returns to shop, attacks employees. That must be a different thing. Middle school student involved in fight dies. 50 member of biker gang brawl. That's the Manji gang. On August 3rd, 2005, in the parking lot of Shibuya War of Tokyo. 50 members. Third year of middle school. Stabbed.
So you're telling me they were also in middle school?
Apparently. He's a third year. Wait, because of the inner strife between the Mikey faction and the Draken. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Can we check the date again? Sorry.
August 3rd.
So we're in July. So you're telling me...
He's gonna go back and see this fight. August 3rd of 2005.
So they're best of buds, and then in 1 month time, they split into 2 different factions, and then we're in a 50-member brawl.
Civil War.
And also the fact that they were in middle school, I thought they were older than that.
They were third year middle school, because he was first year, those other Koyasu or Kamayasu, whatever the fuck his name was second year, and then they were third year.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I thought that they were old.
So they were 14, 15. So they were on maybe
2 weeks away. Yeah.
Maybe Mikey went to Kisaki's side. They became buddy.
Oh, because they met, and that was
And then they were fighting, and then Draken was like, "You're going down the wrong fucking road, man. Get it back together." And then they fought.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to find out, like, what caused this. I thought you said we have 2 weeks, we need to figure out how he died, and then you...
Yeah, he goes back.
What is...
He's at the hostess club right after.
But he didn't go to the hostess club when he was a kid.
You fuck a lot of 12-year-olds in here? Once again, I feel like these characters should not be in middle school. They should be in high school. It would make sense if it was high school.
Yeah, see, like, what? See, clearly something with his life did change.
Yeah.
In that thing, but it didn't have any effect later on.
Wow.
Which is strange. Because, like we suspected, he did gain confidence and...
He must have lost it maybe in the fight. Maybe he loses it another way and goes back to where he was. Gets scared a different way. And maybe these changes aren't enough to fully change the future. Or change his path.
Very convincing.
Mitsuya.
Now, how old are these guys? Everyone in middle school?
Emma. Oh shit.
Yeah, like half an hour ago.
Deserved. Who are you to these people? Are you Draken's girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't...
Oh, okay. I see.
He's just there.
I wonder what happened to make him the leader.
Yeah.
Like whose ass did he have to kick to get this position? Or why do his eyes look so dead?
How long has he been the leader?
Since 3rd grade. Cause he's 14.
Oh.
Pay for what? He wasn't even in the gang. Or that wasn't a gang sanctioned thing.
That was their own. He's just doing his own.
He's just using the power of his like low level position to order people around and do a fight club and fucking take people's money.
Holy shit.
That's a word? Yeah, that's awful. They're all fucking down.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
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 How else do you think it was just a coincidence of a 50-person biker fight?
But Mikey and Draken were on different sides. You're gonna need to do more than just be around him. You're gonna have to do better than just tell him, like...
Because you're not...
Step 1, directly confront him and tell him that I'm gonna... Like, what? That should be plan A. They're like, you should do something more skillful, tactful.
Something so dumb.
He has one.
I wonder if he just, like, saves them from other times, just in case.
I'm not seeing what could happen that could lead to them fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know what could happen in such a short period of time.
Unless he's already against him and he's just waiting for his chance to strike, but I don't think he does. I think they're genuinely friends. Hospital.
Oh. 5 days.
何しに来たんだお前らおのと顔出しやがって帰れお父さん何のつもりだ娘は死ぬところだったんだ俺ら悪くねえしてか何八つ当たりしてんのこのおっさんこの虫けらが
Because his daughter was raped by a bunch of gang members.
やめてくださいお父さん散々人に迷惑かけて傷つけて茶してましたで済まされてたまるかクソガキどもが誰に向かって口聞いてんの何すんだ全部俺らの責任おいクズが2人集めが元に戻るのかは黙れマイキー君の言う通りだ
Mikey's not right? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
His daughter's in a coma after she got raped and beaten half to death. And you're sitting here like, who's this guy think he is?
Yeah.
As you show up to her hospital room. Mikey's not in the right.
As
Aren't
you're
you
running
25
a fucking
years?
middle school gang.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're kids. Of course they wouldn't get it, but like, it's dumb for them to think that way. This family is like torn apart and you're getting like all touchy.
ケンチンが隣にいてくれてよかった。分かった気がする。ドラケンがなんでマイキーが変わっちまったか。
Yeah.
なんで極悪集団になっちまったか。ドラケンはマイキーの心だ。
Keeping him in check.
Yeah.
Big time. Which is funny because they look like it would be the opposite. Like just their appearance.
Yeah, something's
Seems
going
like
on.
it was
An outside job?
yeah, or the other gang, seeing as they're like actual adults, seemingly apparently they're 2 generations whatever above them. Whatever that means, if they're just like 2 levels above them.
Like, I think older.
Yeah.
Like, they're generations of gangs, and they're in a younger generation.
Mm-hmm. So I guess what that means...
So they're a bunch of pedophile rapists on top of that, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like I'm very unclear. Like, is all of this gang that we're seeing right now, they're all in middle school? Or around that?
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, it's just get over it. Because by this point, get over it. They're in middle school. It doesn't make sense that they're in middle school. I'll give you that. But it's there. That's what it is. Get over it.
But what I was saying is that, yeah, seeing as they are, like, actual people, not just middle school students, they could have pulled some strings with the media or with the police to make it seem like they maybe weren't involved and it was just, like, the gang fighting each other.
If they have more influence, yeah.
Or perhaps, since they are so much stronger, no one from their side was, like, badly enough injured that it was noticeable and they just beat the shit out of these guys and then took off and, you know.
Or something happens in the next couple days to really throw a wrench into things.
Mm-hmm. But it seems
maybe if Kiseki is the mastermind that we're thinking he might be, whether time travel or not, if he's the mastermind and the real, like, true leader, if Mikey's gone and he's the leader of the Manji gang in the present time, maybe he met Mikey and planned something, turned him against him somehow, because he is childish. That's what we learned from this episode. Mikey is very childish, but he has that leader's spirit that, like, he has the respect of the people. Yeah. That's the thing, is he doesn't immediately know the right thing to do, necessarily, but he knows he's true to himself, and he needs some guidance, but he's honest, and he has the respect of the people. That's his thing, and he's probably very strong. But I think that he could, if, like, the wrong person got in his head, he could turn against Draken in another world. Or in this world, I guess, in the one that happened. I think it's possible that Kiseki got to him, turned him against his friend, and then instead of just fighting, he died. And now he hasn't been the same ever since. But the other guy was able to use that to gain power in the Manji gang, or merge the 2 gangs, and then they both became one, and he took over and became the leader of the whole organization. That's what I'm predicting is going to happen.
Yeah, or it could, like, that is a possibility, but I'm leaning more towards that there was some kind of cover-up going on. They never fought with each other. That was, like, a fabricated story to pit everyone against Mikey and, like, their gang in general. But
Mikey's still the leader in the present time.
Yeah. Well, if Mikey had killed like Draken, do you think that he would still be the leader if, like, he just fucking murdered the other dude?
I don't think he murdered him. I think that his actions, because he chose not to listen to him, to his heart, chose not to listen to his best friend, and was possibly turned against him, didn't kill him by his hand, but by his actions or by his inactions, let his friend die, and lost his control over the gang. And I think that the gang is going to grow in size when Kiseki joins it. I think that maybe Kiseki is in the Mobius, whatever it's the fucking called it is gang. Yeah. He's in that gang, and this event is going to merge the 2. That's why there's 2 leaders. But Kiseki is going to be the real leader because Mikey's spirit's going to be broken because he's going to lose his conscience, who is Draken. Through his own inaction, through probably Kiseki's sway in the gang, through something's going to happen. Draken is going to die, Mikey is going to feel guilty or in some way vaguely responsible.
And here's the
he's
other
gonna be
thing.
fucked up for the rest of his life.
Do you think that in this timeline Draken is still going to die, or do you think he can be saved? Because the thing with this is there's no second chance at that day.
Right. As far as we know.
As far as we know, it can only be 12 years.
I think he'll save him. I think that's how he's gonna get the stab wound in his hand.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, because he gets stabbed. I would think that because if he got beat up, the stab was the thing that killed him.
Yeah.
If he stops him from being stabbed, then he stops him.
Maybe he gets put in a coma and he takes Draken's place while Draken is recovering or something. And like because he saved Draken and Mikey's like, my best friend almost died, you saved him, you now become even more my best friend.
And now you become in the gang, and then that's how he officially gets in the gang, rather than just
by
hanging
stopping
out
a
with
tragedy. And by showing the foresight, maybe then Draken will be like, he's a sharp kid, he knew some bad shit was gonna go down, we should trust his instincts.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that he is going to save Draken, but I think it's gonna be close.
I think it will be close. I think we're right with that prediction of...
And with this episode, by the way, can we talk a little? We don't go on a crazy rant, but a little bit more about. Unless was there more you wanted to say on that?
That was mostly it.
Okay, this episode confirmed to me even more that there's something going on with Hina, time travel wise. The way she was talking and the way she like, not just because she alluded last episode about you're more like an adult, you're way more mature. But she immediately recognized it, and then she's like, I'm gonna go with you.
Here's the other thing, though. We now have a weird idea of what happens after he, like, leaves the timeline. Which is, it's super duper weird that this is the result, is that he basically just has zero recollection of apparently anything he's been doing. Even though that's not, like...
I think he remembers what he was doing. He just, like, changes his mind as to why and becomes a kid again.
I guess the reason...
It's like, I see it like Click. You ever see Click with Adam Sandler? No. Okay, never mind. That's how I see it.
Yeah, like, it's the thing of... He, just kind of, like, reverts and does something else in the timeline without any of his, like, feelings or thoughts that he... You would think that he might have, depending on the experiences, but it's clear that things did change, but not too much, I guess. Because he was with that other girl and clearly in the gang, but then we also know that somewhere along the line he still went away from it, so...
Yeah, and, we don't know why he would do that in the future, and we'll see if he goes back between now and the fight, or if he, I think that he might stay. For the 2 weeks.
I feel like he might stay.
Because last time he stayed 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, because it was, about, or a week.
They said that he was away from work for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So during that was 2 weeks. If this is going to be 2 weeks, we thought that he might go back to the present. If he does go back to the present, I'd be curious to see if there's anything changed.
That's the other thing. I would be scared to go back to the present.
I would be scared before you do the deed.
Before
you make a huge wave.
But it is also scary because in that time, Naoto could have done more research to and potentially uncovered some more truths of what happened. So once he's sure, it actually seems like it wasn't just a fight between them. There's probably something else going on. Goes back, checks it out. Could maybe uncover something and then come back knowing the real cause. The other option is just to do sort of what we said and on the fly try and save him.
Yeah. And it seems like they're going in that direction. The thing with this show is I'm not sure how complicated they're going to get because they're going back and forth between present and past, and it's consistent with each other, to break the continuity of the timeline based on a one-day visit to the past each time you do it. That's where it gets complicated, because then you're messing with the continuity of their planning and talking to each other about the moment. Because if he changes one little thing in real time travel theory, the butterfly effect would take effect, and he doing minor changes would change the entire event. So if he went back to the future to collect intel about the thing that he just changed, the intel would be different than what he originally
so it
thought.
Wouldn't matter.
And then the intel would be worthless previously, and then he would have to go back again.
And then that's the problem with Naoto remembering all timelines, is that he would think his research was up to date, but it actually wouldn't be, so you'd have to do it again.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's better to stay. Smarter
Get
to
as much as you can before you go in, and then don't, double back.
And then don't come back until it's seemingly safe.
Yes.
But you'll never know whether it's safe or not.
Right. His manager is a bitch. The girl, who I guess is also a high school student. It might not have been the hostess club. It might have been the karaoke bar.
Yeah. Well, it definitely wasn't the hostess club, because that didn't even exist yet.
Right. What am I talking about? Yeah. Right. Never mind. He was just in a
I think she just has a crush
on Draken.
On Draken, and is just hanging around.
Right. She's they have a word for that in biker gangs. I forget what it's called. I think it might be a hang around or something like that. It's something like that. It's someone who's like involved in the sort of the community around the biker gang, at least in American biker gangs. I forget the actual name for it, but yeah. And I love how they were calling her wifey. I wonder if a better translation is old lady, since he's in a biker gang, or if that's too American biker-ish for these guys. I find it interesting that they're actual bikers, because that's another thing I want to move past it. These kids are not in fucking middle school. Like, I don't care if it's Japan and they grow up a lot faster earlier on because of tests for getting into middle school, because you have to get into a middle school.
I don't care. It's not.
They should be in high school. It seems it's at the point now where they keep stacking more and more things, and it seems like this was written for high school, for like late high school.
What it seems like is the main character and his friends are in like upper high school. The gang is like in their 20s. You know what I mean? Like they're like just out of high school. And now they're like, I would believe
if they were in a biker gang in high school. I would believe that. I would believe that like an 18-year-old is like leading this biker gang. I don't believe that a 14-year-old is doing this.
Well, I guess at the same time, like, would you even like bother to be in high school if you were the leader of the biker gang and everyone knew that you were in the...
And if everybody knows what you could probably just threaten your teacher to give you good grades, good enough to pass, but you also probably don't care about it. They're that age, but who knows if they're actually in the school. Or like constantly going there. Regardless, our point in all of this is not that it's a big deal necessarily. It's just that it's one of those things that takes you out of your immersion.
Yeah, when they're like, the middle school biker gang.
Because the reason it takes you out of it is because it's so it goes back to what we were saying in like the first 3 episodes. It's so obviously a tactic on part of the editing and the writing, to like the editors of the magazine, like giving notes and saying, oh well, we're trying to go to this demographic, we're trying to make it marketable to this and that group of people, this audience, and they're all like middle school, high school. So if we make it middle school, it'll be relatable to more people. If we make them younger, it'll be relatable to more people. So just make it that, and just keeps like, then it's more relatable. And they only care about the sales, so it seems like they've been aged down artificially for the sake of marketing, rather than what their personality and actions and sort of level of maturity and just like what they're doing entails. It hints more at a 17, 18, 19-year-old range, but they can't sell that to middle schoolers. They can sell middle school. They can't sell high school biker gang to middle schoolers, or that's more difficult from like a macro marketing perspective. If you're talking about demographics, that's more difficult to market than it is to. But you can market that to high schoolers. But if you make them middle schoolers, then you can market it to both middle schoolers, high schoolers, and people older, because they could be acting older but be that age. Like it's just it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I wish it wasn't, but. If they didn't keep bringing it up, then we wouldn't keep bringing it up. But they keep reminding us that it's middle school.
I would have literally forgotten If they only mentioned it in the first episode, I guarantee you I would have just not even been thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
But every 2 seconds they're like, the middle school biker gang, and I'm like...
And if it's like something like, again, I the only reason I reference Naruto is because it's such a big part of our channel and something that we're really into right now and something that we've watched for a while on the channel. So I'm not comparing this to Naruto for the sake of all I do is think about Naruto. It's just something familiar that I'm referencing. All those people are like 14 or younger. They're like 12, 13. But it's like, one, it's a fantasy. Like, it's common. What I'm saying is it's common to make people that age for these stories. But it's bad when it's so common or you're following with the grain so much that you're sacrificing the logical integrity of your character's lifestyles and the logic of your story in order to, you know, market it to a certain demographic. That's when it bumps, and that's when it gets kind of like... You're taking me out of the moment, reminding me that these are not 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, which they look like, but they're actually all between the ages of 13 and like 16. Even though there's literal bikers on Harleys and shit, or whatever the Japanese equivalent would be. You know what I mean? Not a huge thing, but definitely something that you definitely are bothered by a lot more than me. But the more I think about it, the more I'm bothered by it. I'm just willing to put it out of my mind because it's an anime.
Yeah. Anyway, well...
A lot of theories, a lot of good talking. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay. Bye-bye.